Your water. Thanks, John. You know, having heard all that about the pension plans and everything, it makes me think that we live life backwards. So I think, you know, if I were to come back, I'd like to live my life backwards next time. You start out dead and get that out of the way. Then you wake up in an old age home feeling much better every day. Then you get kicked out for being too healthy. You enjoy your retirement and collect your pension. We don't have to worry about John or ERISA or PBGC or anything like that. Then you start work. You get a gold watch on your first day. You work 40 years until you're too young to work. You get ready for high school, drink alcohol, party, and generally be promiscuous. Then you go to primary school. You become a kid, you play, and you have no responsibilities. Then you become a baby. And then you spend your last 9 months floating peacefully in luxury in spa-like conditions, central heating, room service on tap, and then you finish off as an orgasm. With that, I'd like to bring up our newly elected president for State of the NCRO, Jay Kuhnie.
Is that the one you picked, or is that the one your wife picked? Oh, okay. Okay, good. I'm going to do this relatively quickly because really you'd rather hear Jason than me, I'm assuming. But I do want to cover a couple of things real quickly. So we can get going. I'm pushing the right button, I believe. Maybe I'm not.
That's John. Name it John.
Side button. Right arrow.
Side button.
You did it. I did it.
What if I say next? Okay. Couple of quick things. One, we have another trip to Washington coming up on February the 2nd through 4th, a couple of weeks from now. Well, good. That's fine. No, you can stay there. Stay there. And I'm going to tell you quickly what we're going to do. There's 8 of us going. 5 of us are from the board, and 3 of us are just leaders or just people that help us. Not exactly board members, but frankly, they're very important for us in terms of the things they do. So we're going there. It's critical for us to meet with the 114th Congress because there's a lot of things that didn't get done on 113th. Frankly, I'm not sure there's a lot going to be done on 114th either, based upon what I heard yesterday, between both the president's speech and the response from the Republicans. Doesn't seem to me that anybody really wants to work together. But it's still critical that we meet there because the Congress changed, obviously, as we know, that there's taken over by the Republicans. And frankly, we spent a lot of time with the Democrats because they were in charge of particularly the Senate. So we needed to do some things with the Republicans. In Michigan specifically, for those of you who are in Michigan, we had a lot of changes, both we had one of our senators change, we had a lot of our representatives change, so it's important for us to get there. And we're really going to talk about health care this time. Well, we talked about pension. I'm going to talk a little about that in just a second. But we're going to talk about health care specifically because we think that there's going to be a lot going on early on in the Affordable Care Act. And we think it's important for us to go and do some things relative to health care changes that need to be done. I won't bore you with those because we've talked about them before. So we're going to go and specifically talk about those. We're also then trying to get another meeting probably in June. We usually go February and October. We're going to try to set up another one in June and go specifically to talk about pensions because we think there are some important things, as John talked to you about pensions that need to be talked about as well. So that's kind of what's going to happen quickly there. Next. Pension funding ramifications. Why had John do that was for 2 reasons. One, to show you that we've got, I'll call him a bulldog, who's a watchdog over the pension programs. Because there's a lot of goofy things that go on with the pensions. And the biggest concern we have, there's two concerns. First of all, the information is really old. When you think about it, as John said, he's looking at stuff from January 1st of 2013, and we're 2 years later. What the heck's happened in 2 years? good or bad. We really don't know. And so we've been trying to get Congress from a pension perspective to give us a lot, to redo the rules and regulations of ERISA to provide better information closer to the time frame that we're dealing with now. We believe it's there, because obviously the companies have put together their financial stuff, and as you guys, some of the finance people here know, we're putting the stuff together now and have to report, in the next couple of months what their financials were for the end of 2014. So we should have that information by the end of 2014 because it's available somewhere. So we're trying to do that. The other thing is, besides letting you know we have somebody that really is the watchdog and really can understand this stuff, that it is really important to us. I know when you look at those charts, it said as you get older, it gets really good. But what you have to remember is, and if I do this right, John, make sure I'm doing it right, that those are the guidelines. If the PBGC values our pensions at 100%, then those are the numbers you get. But if they don't value it 100%, then it goes down from there. So it's not all that rosy all the time, and we really don't know where it is. So we think there are a lot of things that need to be done with it, and we just think it's important for us, important for all of us, to do that and to watch that. So I won't get into all the other issues because we talked about de-risking, and John said there's a lot of things that we believe that Congress needs to get involved in. And in fact, we're making some progress with the NRLN with some of the groups that are responsible for this to try to look at those things and start protecting our pensions a little better than they have. So that's why we want to talk about the pensions to get you. We don't want to scare you. We want to do anything that says, well, okay, fine, nothing's bad. Because, and I'll get to that basically in this part. So if I push my buttons, whatever.
Try the right side of the circle.
Circle in the middle.
Circle.
To the green button.
The right side.
There's an arrow right up.
Oh, I got it, sure. Duh. Point is, remember that just because things look good doesn't mean they are. I mean, really. We know business is great for the company, thank goodness, and we will continue to call ourselves Chrysler, right? I mean, FCA, as far as I'm concerned, the C stands for Chrysler in FCA, if you want to write it out. So I always write it out. But we all know, and we've all been around the business long enough to know that cyclicalness is built into our business. And as much as I think Marchione is fantastic, as much as I have driven the new products, I happen to have a new 200, car's spectacular. Things change. Business change, economy changes. And how in the future, how well is Chrysler set up, FCA set up to really weather a storm? We don't know that. So that's why we do what we do. But we don't want you to forget that things can get worse. Quickly here, did anybody get the switch HSAs? Because I want to do one more thing. HSAs, the HSA, Chrysler switched from HSA from whatever the heck it was, Merrill Lynch or what the heck it was, from Bank Corp to Bank of America. So they basically, to say it probably inappropriately, there was a screw up in the system and they didn't notify everybody about the switch. And I don't know if anybody has been notified that it's going to be switching HSA. Under 65, your HSA is going to switch from Bank Corp to Bank of America.
Also, if you're over 65, it's still
Right,
HSA balance.
same thing. If in fact you haven't got that, they're working on a solution right now to send it out to you to make sure everybody knows that, so you can access your money and there's no big issue. So stay tuned. Rich Brown has been involved with them working on that, and as soon as we get more information, we'll make sure you know that. We'll send it out in an email or put it in newsletters and whatever. So.
Does that affect the debit card that we have right now?
Yes. I will tell you though that I just used my debit card and it worked. So I'm confused a little. So just hang in here. If you do have an issue, go to our website, send us a note, and we'll follow up on it for you. And the next one, if you look at it, there's some issues here. You've got some phone numbers. Bank Corp, if you want to call them, there's a number there, so write it down. We'll put this up on the website so you can get. It is. Excuse me. It's already up on our web. So if somehow you don't want to do this, you can go to our website. It's up on the website. This information. So you can call Bank Corp at the number there. You can also call the second bullet from the bottom. Got benefits online from the Merrill Lynch general number, or if you want to go directly to Bank of America and see that, you can call those numbers. So this information is up on our website. So if you have some confusion, check there first. If you don't get your information the way you want it, send us a note on our website, and we'll follow up with you with that. Last thing, big concern. I don't mean to be melodramatic, but I have a real big concern for seniors and retirees. And my big concern is apathy. And I don't mean that in a bad sense, because I just think that as we've gotten older, maybe we get tired, but there's a lot of things going on in the world out there. John talked to you about the funding of the transportation bill on basically the backs of retirees. There's a lot of things going on out there that really we need to be a lot more involved in and a lot more aggressive in terms of that. We being the big we out there. I don't just mean NCRO, although I don't think the NCRO is immune to that, because we see some apathy in terms of people continuing their membership with the NCRO. Because things are great, right? I mean, things are great. So what's wrong? I don't know. Wake up tomorrow. May not be good tomorrow. And that's what we're here for. As John said, I thank goodness. I'm thankful every day for the guys that started this organization and actually had the guts and the wherewithal to go to Washington, D.C. and fight for us. Because he's absolutely right. Had that not been done, we'd be getting a lot less than what we're getting today because the PBGC. I'll give you a quick example. Delphi, we talked about Delphi. Delphi, when they went bankrupt and the PBGC took over their pension plan, Delphi went and did their own audit of their pension plan, 86% funded. Do you know what the PBGC said their funding was? In the 40s. So those people are getting 50% of what they thought they were going to get. So now just look at your paychecks or your checks every month and get 50% of that. I know I wouldn't be able to live on it. So these are the important things, and I'm just concerned that we being seniors, are getting a little apathetic about what's going on. So I think we need to stop. We need to recalibrate ourselves and watch what's going on and then be vocal. The one thing I'd ask you to do, and I'll close on this, the one thing I'd ask you to do is you can help us just starting this. How many of you recently got an NRLN action alert from Bill Cartwright? You guys see that? Do us a favor, all of us. Answer those, please. They're important. They get to our representatives, and representatives know what we're concerned about. If you don't agree with it, don't. But if you agree with it, please act on that. If we could just get, I think the last time I looked at the report, it said like 4 to 5 or 6% of our people responded to those action alerts. So we're gonna try to say these are legitimate. So when the one comes out, you'll probably get another one. Note from me. I apologize, going in right now. It says please react to this, because it's important and it does make a difference when you walk into the senators and the representatives and you go, gee, I got all these notes from your people that said don't do this. So if you could just do that for us, we really appreciate it. And we'll start on other things in order to kind of get us more active in trying to fight the things that aren't being done well for seniors. I said that, unfortunately, when you're working for a company, you're an asset. When you're not working for a company, you're a liability. We just have to remember that. And we, the liabilities, need to get active again and let them know that we're not a liability, that they owe us the things that they told us they were going to do. So that's important to us. Again, thank you guys for your support. Great attendance today, and for those, all the support and the notes we get from you guys. We're here to help you, and we do really appreciate everything you do for us. So with that, turn it back to Dave.